everyone. I am very excited to get on camera this week. You know why? Because I feel this pressing urge to share a story with you. So, I was taking the train in the city, and all of a sudden, this woman keeps knocking my leg with her bag. And when I looked up, she started yelling at me in English. And for those of you who don't know, I live in Hong Kong, which is a city that predominantly speaks Chinese. Whether that's Cantonese or Mandarin is besides the point. Let's just say that there aren't as many English speakers around. So I was actually quite shocked when this lady spoke to me in English, and I was more than happy to respond. What I wasn't anticipating was the fact that she was so upset and livid and yelling at me for not having stood up to give my seat to another lady. So I am guilty. I'm guilty of having been on my phone looking down, and I didn't notice that there was another lady that got onto the train. So the lady that was hitting me with her bag was actually the one that had gotten up. Then she went ballistic and started yelling at me about my age. So in that moment, I actually had two choices. I could either fuel the fire or I could find a way to diffuse it. Now, have you ever tried to walk away from a situation where it was not in your favor? So I got up, I gave her my seat. I said, please, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. I was actually on my phone. And she wouldn't stop. She was making a scene. A gentleman on the train was very, very smart. I think he noticed that if I was unable to control myself, it could turn into a cat fight. So he stood between us, and he had one hand on the upper rail and one hand on the wall, and he was creating like a human barrier between the two of us. And the thing that was really funny was the very fact that I wasn't fueling her made her even angrier. So she kept provoking me. Now, how many of you have been in that type of situation? It happens all the time, right? Misery loves company, like when you're at work. Do you have people who are having a bad day? Maybe they're dealing on a project that isn't going their way, or, people that just don't seem to be getting what they want in life, and they don't want you to have what you can have either. Let me tell you, that was like the longest 3 stations left of my train ride ever. And the lady seemed to actually have a point that she was trying to hammer home, which I later caught on to. And it was very much the very fact that she was very fluent in English. Because there were people on the train that didn't understand a word of what she was saying. But she was very loud and vocal and wanted to make it known that she spoke fluent English. So when I spoke back to her in English, she was equally shocked. And then she found a foreigner, somebody that's not local, and started telling that person how wrong it was of me to be having been seated. And by that point, there were 3 seats open and available for her to sit down in. Yet she chose not to. But she wanted to continue to make a scene. And this went on for 3 stations, and I was standing up. I was on my phone and thinking to myself, wow, some people just don't know when to quit. Do you know people like that? Do you know people who are like so obsessed in their minds with the way that they feel something has gone wrong in their life, or with the way that something has been wronged, and they're not willing to let go? Oh my God. Let me tell you, that was a very, very interesting experience, and it just reminded me that today's topic of forgiveness is so, so important. Like, forgive and let go and move on. I'm smiling just thinking about the incident, because I thought, wow, this lady might be all miserable, not just for the train ride, but the rest of her day over something that wasn't even her issue. Remember, she was actually seated. She gave her seat up, and then she picked a fight with me. And by the time I gave my seat up, she refused to sit down. So her agenda was relatively clear. It was just the very fact that she felt something wrong had happened. She wanted everybody to know about it, but she was going to do it in English so that everybody else on the train who didn't understand English or was less sophisticated than her wouldn't understand what went on anyways. My point being, there are some very, very strange people in this world, and we cannot control them. And it's very unfortunate when we come across them. And the only person that we can really control is ourselves. And when necessary, we need to forgive those around us for their very interesting trespasses, if I may use that word from the Lord's Prayer, and really let go and move on and do the things that we know that we need to do in order to live our lives with joy and happiness. So, I don't know what you guys think of this particular scenario. I definitely had gotten up, given my seat, apologized, but it wasn't enough. And if any of you have had interesting experiences like that in the past and want to share with me, make sure you put a comment down below. And as you're watching this video, if you're enjoying it, please click like if you're watching on YouTube, click subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and feel free to share with others so that they can also get a few minutes of wisdom and inspiration on this fantastic Monday morning. So I'll speak with you guys again soon, and have a fantastic week ahead. Bye!